Hello guys, and welcome to all those training to become Super Saiyans. This is Revolution. So on today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is the power that the Grand Priest, otherwise known as the Daishinkan, exhibits. Now obviously we've been told in this series time and time again that Zeno and Future Zeno are the two most eminent beings in the whole verse, other than possibly Toribot, but that's arguable. However, with the Grand Priest, it goes without saying that he can demonstrate such abilities that we just simply haven't seen Zeno be able to demonstrate. Maybe he can, but we haven't seen it in the show itself. Now, I did release a video last week called The One Above Zeno, where I discussed whether or not the Zenos are truly the most eminent beings in the whole Dragon Ball verse. If you have any questions about that, I highly suggest you go check out that video after this video. I will link it at the end of this video. So just before I get into why the Grand Priest is stronger than you thought, if you're new to this channel, I highly recommend checking out my full library. I'm sure you'll find some content there you will enjoy. Please do subscribe because I have content coming out daily. And if you want to get notified every time I release new content, subscribing is the way to get those notifications. So please do. I'm also on these social media platforms, so by all means come and follow me if you want to hear my day-to-day thoughts on anything Dragon Ball. So you're probably sitting there thinking, why does Revolution think we don't know how strong the Daishinkan is? It's been stated in the series itself that the Daishinkan is in the top 5 fighters in the whole multiverse. That was quite evident. Even in the manga, although it's a different canonicity to the anime, it had the Daishinkan, the Grand Priest, literally block Beerus and Quintella whilst fighting at full power head on with one finger. It's blatantly obvious from both canonicities that Toriyama intends the Grand Priest to be incredibly powerful. But we all know that, that's universally known. In Dragon Ball Super episode 47, when Goku and Vegeta were inquiring about Zeno-sama's power, Whis told them that the Saiyans focus too much on battle power and fighting abilities, and in truth, us fans are also guilty of the same thing. We've been conditioned like that. That's how Dragon Ball Z was pretty much ran. You had a higher battle power, you were simply stronger. You would most likely win the fight. But since the inception of Dragon Ball Super, it has been slowly and quietly ushering in characters who scale higher on the dimensional tiering system. Now, battle power is still important if you're fighting on a 4th dimensional playing field. But like I said, Dragon Ball Super have now exhibited characters that transcend the 4th dimension. Now the Grand Priest is simply a higher being, but there are even mortals in the Dragon Ball verse that transcend 4th dimensional. None more recently so than Jiren, who broke through Hit's time jail just by powering up. It was confirmed that Jiren transcended time by even the angels in attendance for the Tournament of Power. There is no denying he transcended time. But as impressive as Jiren the Grey was whilst fighting the legendary assassin Hit and Ultra Instinct Goku, his battle power and dimensional feats pale in comparison to the Daishinkans. So in Dragon Ball Super episode 82, Whis confirms that he is actually a guide sent from the other world. What can that possibly mean? Well, in Dragon Ball Super, in episode 55, we see Zeno's house or mansion, whatever it is, it's enormous, but it's on a giant looking squid creature. But if you look at the background to this picture on your screen right now, you'll see that the verse behind it is enormous. I previously only thought this landscape picture of Zeno's verse was in episode 55, but upon doing research for this video, in fact, I found that it's also in episode 77. So it is definitely an established thing. Now, it's all part of the bigger Omniverse of the Dragon Ball verse. I explain the Dragon Ball Omniverse in a video. I'll link it at the end of this video so you can check it out. It is a 30-minute video, but I can guarantee it's worth your while. I can guarantee there aren't many Dragon Ball YouTubers out there that could make this video. I highly suggest you watch it. So to get a scope on how impressive the Daishinkan's feats are, we have to look at the world of Void. And just before I start getting into this, I want to thank Grant Langkamp for helping me with this research. It is highly appreciated. So the world of void, what is it? It is a place without time or space. It is a world of infinite nothingness. Not infinity, not true infinity. I explained that in the Dragon Ball Omniverse video, but it is a fifth dimensional construct that can hold an infinite amount of 3D and 4D constructs. So in Dragon Ball Super episode 82, the Grand Priest literally lights up a ball in his hand. It looks like an orb of light, but says he needs to begin the construction of the Tournament of Power stage. And then all of a sudden, that orb of light seems to get bigger, and in the middle, you see what is the world of void. Now, I don't want to make any jumps here because it's hard to make an evaluation based on this presentation, but it is possible that right here, the Grand Priest has created the world of void. Like I said, that's a jump. I wouldn't want to lie to you guys, so I can't say that 100% concretely. I would like to know your thoughts on that in the comment section. But he then goes on to start to induce physics into the world of void. Remember, this is a place without space and time. He induces matter, molecules, light, gravity, even implement time into the world of void itself. There seems to be no limit to what the Daishinkan can induce. He even induced Kachin, the densest metal in the multiverse, even more dense than Kachin from Universe 7. We even see materialized this metal in his hand in the world of void when talking about the stage to the gods of destruction. But this manipulation of the world of void, a fifth dimensional construct, is astounding. Then when you consider that once half the tournament had expired, the Grand Priest manipulated it even further by changing the colour of the entire construct. He appears to have free reign over this fifth dimensional construct, which at least puts him at sixth dimensional. Now, I'll go further into why I believe he's sixth dimensional, because there's more. He was able to open the gates into the world of void itself, not only allowing himself in, and not only that, just surviving in this vacuum of nothingness, but he also allowed others to enter the world of void by teleporting multiple beings at once into the world of void from another dimension / universe. There's a brazen argument for this alone being a seventh dimensional feat, never mind sixth dimensional. Oh, and did I mention that the Grand Priest was creating and constructing the stage for the Tournament of Power outside of the world of void whilst talking to all the gods of destructions, the gods of creations, and Zeno after the Tournament of Power preliminaries. Even before the Tournament of Power started, when Zeno asked on an update about all the universes participating in the Tournament of Power, we saw the Grand Priest create a holographic update on how people like Goku were faring in terms of preparing for the tournament. He also showed a little bit of history here. Once again, this is a sixth dimensional feat. To be able to show the ongoings of a different universe that has different beginnings to his own universe. Wow, it's just mind-boggling. Even though it will be a technique in itself because he himself isn't omniscient, it indicates that he has nigh omniscient view. If he looks for it, he can get what he wants. He actually displayed this ability in the preliminaries as well when he showed the rules of the Tournament of Power by using a holographic image from his own hand. Now, Zeno wouldn't need these holographic images of the ongoings if he could do it himself. He could just look himself. But he called the Grand Priest to him to give him an update, suggesting that the Grand Priest is the one with these abilities. Sure, Zeno is a more eminent being because his erase technique seems to have the ability to even transcend the Daishinkan's abilities. Just a few other abilities the Daishinkan has displayed. He managed to create a portal which allowed him to transfer from his world to the Universe 7 world. You can assume that he can do that to the whole multiverse, as he was travelling around to speak to the Supreme Kais. He can remove other people's abilities such as flight in the Tournament of Power. Even Jiren can't use flight. I know it looked like Ultra Instinct and Jiren were flying, but I think they were just fighting at extremely fast speeds in an instant moment. We also know that Whis is the son of the Grand Priest, and Whis has abilities like reversing time, at least in his staff, as well as accelerating life. Whis accelerated the birth of Bulla just before the Tournament of Power. he accelerated time for that person. This is time manipulation, and it isn't Whis' staff, but the Daishinkan appears able to demonstrate these kind of abilities with his own being. So being the more powerful angel and the father to Whis, you would assume that he was the one that probably gave that staff to Whis in the first place, and that he himself has these kind of abilities. And it's perfectly feasible to believe that the Grand Priest can utilize this time manipulation to a greater degree than his son Whis, proving he has mastery over the 5th and 6th dimensions. So the Grand Priest seems like he has nigh omniscient view. He's a 6th, possibly 7th dimensional being. Materialize matter, molecules, gravity, and even induce time. He has time manipulation abilities. He can show you the ongoings of a different universe. He is one of the top 5 fighters in the whole multiverse. By scaling, he is stronger than Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren, who both shook the world of Void by just powering up. Considering he's more powerful, he should be able to do the same. How do you defeat a being like this? When you look at it and think about it critically, you would say that he should be the most eminent being in this whole verse. This is the catalyst behind people's beliefs that he will, in fact, turn against Zeno. Whether he does or not remains to be seen, but he sure would be a formidable adversary. Or maybe he'll be good and he'll train Goku, and that will help Goku get to that next stage. Maybe help him master Ultra Instinct. The Daishinkan should also be a master of Ultra Instinct. So this is why the Grand Priest is stronger than you thought. His abilities are crazy, and I believe we'll only see more and more of them as the series goes on. So guys, if you think I've missed anything out, make sure you let me know in the comments section. After all, he has had to summon the Super Dragon Ball, so there is a limit to his abilities. Does Zalama the Dragon God have abilities that the Grand Priest and Zeno do not? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you like my videos, make sure you smash that like button with the biggest Kamehameha you can muster. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and remember one very important final message. If you stay calm in any vexing situation, you will never, ever become a Super Saiyan. Make sure you click that subscribe button to make sure you get all my latest content straight to your account as soon as it's released. And here are some more videos from my library, which I'm sure you will all enjoy.